Whew, there we go. Welcome, fellow dreamers. Welcome back. As you can see, I've got my February Dragon Art raring to go. I'm not completely recovered yet, so we're just gonna do a tattoo tour, cause I wanted to wait until my tattoo's healed, but my current one isn't they're not flaking that bad, so I think we can get ahead. We can go on with this. So yeah. So I'm gonna be showing you my tattoos in order. And then I'm going to, go over pricing, who the artist was, and I was gonna keep that on the down low at first, but I've already been doxxed, so everybody knows who I am. So I might as well just get my favorite artist some business. So yeah, and plus, if you shop Dragon Realm Boutique, it doxes you anyway. It tells everybody where you are. So yeah. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the tattoos. So first off, I'm gonna try to do this very carefully so I don't accidentally expose more than I want to. But my first tattoo is on my chest here. Can't tell if it's picking up. Oh. And as you can see, it's just some text that says Shalom. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna get into meaning and stuff like that, and names, because I did name most of my tattoos, except for the script one, obviously, but let's see, this one, it's just some text that says Shalom, and this was my first tattoo. I got it from Blue Flame. It's closed down now. To be honest, their bedside manner was pretty bad though, so I'm not surprised. I actually can't remember the artist's name, but I remember when I came in, everybody just acted so irritated by me. I was like, well, what's it gonna feel like? Because I was real nervous about it at first. I didn't ask if it was gonna hurt. I just said, hey, what does it feel like? Just to give myself an idea of what I was gonna deal with here. And they were just so rude to me. They were like, well, it's not gonna feel good. And I'm like, okay. I mean, I know that, but if you had to compare it to something, well, it feels like a needle. That's what it feels like. I'm like, okay. Excuse me. But I wanted to get the text in red initially too, and they were like, if you do that, it's gonna look like a butthole. They also had me change the font to so I was like, okay. And I just kind of felt bulldogged the whole time. But anyways, that was that. I also saw the shop owner was being super mean to people in the comments too, but regardless of that, that's neither here nor there. Originally I did want to get across. I got Shalom because I wanted to, which is, if you don't know, it's Hebrew for peace. I wanted to get the word of God tattooed over my heart to protect it. And another thing too is when I was first given the healing instructions, the tattoo artist was like, well, yeah, thankfully he stuck to the washing thing. You're gonna want to keep it clean for about 2 weeks. But he told me not to use lotion on it. And I regret doing that because you can't really tell, but some of the ink did end up falling out in certain areas, so I'm careful to moisturize them now, which I was instructed by my second artist to use Aveeno Baby, which I recommend highly, especially if you have sensitive skin like I do. Another thing too, I wanted to get originally I wanted to get a gold cross that said "In God We Trust" on it, but the reason I opted out of that is for a couple of reasons. I was told color tattoos do not heal well. Not that they don't heal well, but they fade really bad. Like, I remember my dad has like a Superman tattoo and the yellow part just completely faded out. So I'm like, okay, maybe I should stay away from that then. So I'm like, okay, I'll just get this text tattoo then. Ooh, excuse me. So I just I also simplified it down to just the word shalom, because, I was watching, like, Ink Master, and, I see it all on TV and stuff like that, and all on the internet even, of people just acting like they're being tortured when they're being tattooed. And my biggest fear was, like, getting this tattoo halfway done and then having to walk out with a half-finished tattoo, because unfinished things drive me crazy. So, I was worried that the pain was going to be too much for me, and I was going to just have to walk around with an unfinished tattoo, and I did not want to do that. So I was like, okay, let me just get this text so I can get through this. So I'm over there on this, on this tattoo bed, just because I'm over here thinking back to when my ears were pierced, and I remember how painful that was. And I was expecting this to hurt a lot worse, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so bad. So I'm sitting there waiting, and the second the guy starts in on me, I'm like, that's it. I'll tell you what it felt like. Exactly what it felt like. Have you ever scratched a mosquito bite until it got raw? That's roughly about what it felt like. So, I'm like, that doesn't really hurt at all. It, actually feels kind of nice. Because it just felt like a deep scratch, And, I was like, I want to say that, too, that I have the world's worst pain tolerance. I actually cried when I bumped my funny bone once, but, and I think it feels nice, and, my aunt actually said I was a freak for that, because she couldn't sit through her back tattoo, almost. And I'm like, well, I don't get why everybody's acting like it hurts so bad, because it doesn't. And, a lot of people are probably going to say right off the bat, oh, you just got a tiny text tattoo, so you don't know what you're talking about. It's all these ones with the tiny tattoos that say they don't hurt. Well, as you're about to see, be patient, wait for the rest of the tour. This is my only small tattoo. The rest of my tattoos are pretty big. I'm gonna give the price of this tattoo, and then we'll move on to my second tattoo. So this tattoo is $100, for that little tiny text. So, there's that. So, that Blue Flame went out, so I, had to end up getting a different shop. It was actually in one of the bad reviews to Blue Flame, where, I ended up getting my next tattoo, like, shop recommendation. Somebody said, oh, well, I went to Warlocks, and they gave me exactly what I wanted. So I'm like, alright then, I'll, go to Warlocks next. So, we did a walk-in. This time I got Alex, and he was really passionate about what I wanted to get tattooed on me, so it ended up being perfect. So here is tattoo number 2. Let me just move my hair out of the way here. And that is my dragon tattoo, in dedication to my my guardian dragons, specifically Redmane, because he's always, like, right behind me. And he's also the one that torched the town of the person who doxed me. So, obviously I named this tattoo Redmayne. After my dragon. So, if it probably looks really familiar, if it does, it's because it's one of the necklace charms I showed you that Redmayne actually gifted to me. So I actually brought that in as a reference to the design I wanted. And I got that tattooed on me. And, Alex did put some more detail in the face, though. This tattoo here was, $200. So, anything else I want to say about it? No. So that was that one. So moving on to my third tattoo, which is on the back of my leg here. Don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this. Come on. Okay, hold on. Let me move the camera. There. So this is actually a memorial tattoo. Dedicated to my cat who passed, Tom. That one particularly hit me kind of hard. Like I said, these pets are my children, but... And, he died of cancer, and... I mean, there wasn't really anything we could do. He was really old. I mean, at least he was considered old in pet years, but he was like 16. And at the same time, it's like... I'm gonna stretch my leg out here. If he were a human and he died at 16, everybody would be seeing it as tragic like I see it, but, whatever. So, I got this tattoo. It was still really, really fresh, so I couldn't get, like, a portrait or anything without getting sad. So, I decided to get, like, a Maneki Neko, which, is Japanese for beckoning cat. But everybody calls this a lucky cat, so, whatever you want to call it, I guess. Because I was real obsessed with those things around the time I had adopted Tom, so I thought it would be a good tribute. And it is a cat, too, so, there's that. So, I think it goes without saying that I named this one Tom. This was the only one, that was the only one that kind of hurt a little bit. I wouldn't say it, I mean, what happened is, like, apparently there's a lot of nerves in the back of your leg. So every time, every now and then it would, hit a nerve cluster. So it wasn't like a consistent pain or anything. It was just, every now and then it felt like I got stabbed with a sewing needle. But just like, it wasn't that bad. It was just kind of like, oh, that one hurt a little. Oh well. But yeah, that was, I got this one done by Ella, also at Warlocks, and she charged me $300 for this one. But yeah, that was my third tattoo. See if I can get my fourth tattoo. My fourth tattoo is on my other shoulder. I did not realize how hard this would be to angle. Woo, okay. That is my Griffin Gargoyle. This one was done by Ernie at Warlocks, and he added the red claw marks in. Which, I love the idea. They look so cute. And, I wanted to get I got a Griffin because I originally wanted to get a gargoyle, but, every design I would show Mom and Dad, they'd be like, oh my gosh, it's so demonic. Finally I found one that had a Griffin design, and they were finally okay with that one. And it's like, I kind of find it ironic because they don't even understand what gargoyles are for. They're meant to scare demons away, not, like, oh well. So I got this, I looked at some Griffin designs, and, I ended up liking this one because it matched my dragon because they were both crawling up my shoulder. So I messaged the company and like Warlocks and asked if I could set up an appointment for one and have like this one crawling up my shoulder and have some stonework added onto it so it looked like it was made of stone. Which Ernie obliged and made this really good looking stonework detailing on it. He also like gave me a good deal for this. I think this one was only $100. And that's one thing I like about Ernie is he always gives me deals. He also does these really banger knockout tattoos. But and he also does them fast too. Like he gets them done so fast. Like and they always look so good. But anyways, I named this one Princess. Why did I name her Princess, you may ask? Because I had this dream that we took in this stray cat and named her Princess. And it was one of those dreams where I woke up sad because it wasn't real. So, this is Princess. And I've been wanting a cat ever since Tom passed away, too. Alright, let's see, 4, 5, okay. Let me try to get 5. 5 is on my other side of my chest. This was also my first glitter tattoo, or as a glitter effect on it. But this is my spirit. This one is dedicated to my spirit animal, Hope. I think this Ernie also only charged me, I don't even think he charged me a full 100. I think he charged me with the shop minimum at the time, which was 50. But yeah, they've since upped it to 150. So anyways, without, I think it's pretty obvious this one's name is Hope. I thought about getting one of those 3D looking butterflies, but I thought this one was cuter. Because it was a glitter effect one, and everybody was getting those glitter effect tattoos, and I was like jealous, and I'm like, well, I kind of want one too. Besides, Hope is always like, usually shows up as a white butterfly, so, and I know I've heard that white doesn't heal well on skin, that it turns yellow, so I'm like, okay, you might just go black and gray here. I was also on the fence about this one too, because like everybody was out there going, oh my gosh, everybody gets a butterfly, I hate doing butterflies, man, like on YouTube. Sorry. I took a cough drop to avoid that happening, and it happened anyway. With the cough drop in my mouth. Sorry. Okay. Damn it. I don't even know. It just, this intense burning sensation near the back of my throat, and it just is uncontrollable coughing after that. If you go out in public sick, you're an asshole. Like, seriously, screw whoever gave me this cold. Gosh. Get my flu shot, I get COVID shots, and I still get sick every fucking year. Okay. Sorry. Seriously, if you're sick, stay home. Business owners, if you have an employee that comes to work sick, fire their ass, please. Anyways, Okay, well, where was I? Right, but, Hope is my spirit animal, and I wanted to get a butterfly, Um, so Ernie, like I was telling Ernie about it, and Ernie was even like, hey, you get whatever you want. It would get what makes you, what feels right, I'm like, yeah. So, yeah. And Ernie became my regular when I, mentioned what I wanted my next tattoo to be, and he said, ooh, I love doing those. So without further ado, let me introduce you to Tattoo 5, which is on my thigh here. And this is my tiger. And I'm going to zoom in because he does have a blue eye. And I love tigers, when I remember a good daddy-daughter memory is when Dad took me to Build-A-Bear Workshop, and I picked out one of those, gosh, how old was I? Like 2? 3? I don't even know. I was young, but I remember I picked out the tiger, and it was one of those Save the Wildlife ones. And so that was ever since then I've had like a real deep love and respect for tigers because I've adopted the tigers. I remember I named that tiger Eddie because I was obsessed with Ed, and Eddie back then too. I also remember when I first met Redmayne for the first time. I was in Florida with my aunt, and they had this tiger on display, and it was a white tiger, and we all got to see him, and he was just curled up in there sleeping, being all innocent, and I'm like, I definitely want a tiger at some point, so I got a tiger next, and after I got the tiger done, I went, I ended up naming him Bishop after this one-eyed cat that I wanted to adopt, but sadly didn't get the chance to. He, mostly because my tiger only has one eye showing, and, Mom was like, no, we're not gonna have any more cats in the house, no more litter boxes, and I'm like, bummer. But anyways, my next tattoo is, let's see. Gosh, which one of these was 6? No, that was 6. Okay, 5, 6. Oh, okay. Give me like 2 seconds, because this one's on my stomach, and I don't want to expose my underwear here. Alright, so that is, the Loch Ness Monster. There's a lot of you know her, or Naleon, as I now personally know her. And I've been like obsessed with her since I was a child, and I wasn't entirely sure why. Kind of goes hand in hand with my obsession with dragons, but I got her as my lucky 7th tattoo. And Ernie actually put more detail in her than than the reference photo I gave, and to the point where she like had these realistic looking wrinkles on her, and I'm like, oh wow. Okay. 8 is on my sternum. I mean, obviously I named her Naleon, or Nessie. Alright, number 8 is on my sternum, so this one is going to be a little tricky, because I don't want to expose my boobies. But yes, it is a tribal lotus. Why did I get this? Have y'all ever seen that show White Lotus? When I lost my first parakeet, Gus, White Lotus became a real comfort show for me. So, I ended up getting the lotus tattoo, like a tribal lotus tattooed on me. And I don't care what people say about tribal. Like a lot of people say, oh my gosh, it's out of style now. I like tribal. I think it looks nice and beachy. Plus it fits in with my aquatic theme. Because I have like mostly aquatic animals in my torso. I thought about getting a manatee beneath it next. Oh, yes, and Ernie. I didn't mention the prices, did I? See, I mentioned the price. Okay, the price of the tiger was actually $300. The price of the my little Loch Ness monster ended up being $200. And the price of my lotus was $150. Nope, it was $100. Okay. So, yeah, and I did name the lotus, even though it's not an animal, but I named the lotus Armand after the first hotel manager. Anyways, let's see. Next is my 9th tattoo, and this is also my most expensive one. I've got birdseed all over me now. But this is my Harley Quinn tattoo. Obviously named Harley Quinn. She was a whopping $500. I actually got her done by Tori at Warlocks. What happened was Ernie. Well, I showed the design to Ernie, but Ernie was like, I'm not so good with these realistic human characters, and you might want to ask Tori because he's good at that. And I'm like, okay. So I go to Tori, and Tori's like, oh yeah, $500. And from what I hear, Ernie like ripped him a new one for that. But anyways, I almost got her in full color, but I ended up not doing it because, again, Harley Quinn, classic Harley Quinn, well, even recent Harley Quinn, has a lot of white in her design, and I didn't want it to turn yellow. So, yeah, I ended up sticking with black and gray. And this is also my first pinup tattoo. Which, if you don't know, pinup tattoos on a woman represent female strength, and it's perfect to get Harley Quinn because she's an abuse survivor, which also kind of coincides with my story. Best $500 I spent. And she's also one of my comfort characters because when I was going through puberty and everything was horrible emotionally, I used to read her comics, and it was like the only thing that would make me feel better is like reading her comics and picturing myself as her. Because she felt like a person, she wasn't like everybody else, like all the other female characters in DC at the time, like where they're just worried about complaining about the patriarchy or whatever. Like she felt like a real person. She felt like a real character. They established her as a character. They had, she was funny, she was smart. I saw a lot of myself in her, so when she did get abused and she did have a good reason for hating men, it was more believable, Anyways, what was I saying? Let's see, what was I think that's all I wanted to say about that one. Funny thing, like everybody would choose that when they would get a Harley Quinn pinup, they would always choose that one where she was jumping over that roller coaster, which I love that one, but I always like the idea of Harley Quinn being a really scary jester. Especially when she's gone into snap mode because she's just taken too much from the Joker, Like, I actually had a few fan fiction ideas where she is determined to replace the Joker, so in order to do that, she has to kill him. So, I actually made that a sole thing in my, jokey fan fiction where I ship the Joker with Loki, but, yeah, I need to... She was so kick-ass in that, but, maybe I'll narrate it someday, I don't know. I know now from experience not to trust the Wattpad algorithm because it sucks, but because my abuse story actually shot up really high in views on YouTube, so that's where everybody panned it on Wattpad and didn't even look at it. So maybe I'll just like post the written parts there, and then I'll narrate them. I don't know, because I need to post them somewhere, And I don't just want to have a bunch of Word documents just lying around on my backdrop. I also considered, maybe once I narrated everything I wanted to narrate, if I got a little bit bigger, I would start narrating some other some fanfics that I've read over time that I think are good, and underrated and need to be read online because a lot of people were just favoring either creepypastas or My Little Pony fanfics, I guess I'm rambling again. Anyways, so now here comes my 10th tattoo. Again, it is on my stomach. Give me a second. Oh gosh. So that is a goblin shark. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you about why I picked this one. I picked this cover because I thought it made her look creepy but beautiful, and kind of reminded me of her DC Universe counterpart, where her little hat spindles were so long. I was torn between this one and the Gotham City Sirens one, where she's like got that creepy smile, the one I'm talking about. But I ended up going with this one just because I thought she was really pretty in this one. Anyways, the shark. Why did I get a shark on my stomach? Once again, to match the aquatic theme of my stomach, I've got like Naleon on one side, I've got a shark on the other side. Hold on just one second. Ow. And then I've got, on my sternum, I've got my little lotus. Like the center of my stomach, I'm thinking of getting a manatee. Because, fun fact, I actually got to pet a wild manatee once. My aunt used to live in Florida. She used to live on this beach property, that had like a lakefront. And I went out there, we were going to hang out on the dock, and, there was I noticed there was something in the water, and I'm like, what is that? So I went to get a closer look, and it blew, like, water at me, and it scared the crap out of me, because I'm like, oh my gosh, what is that sea monster? Like, and then I look closer, and I'm like, oh, it's a manatee, oh my gosh, and I was, like, blown away, because I'd never seen one in person before, because they're endangered. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and I got to, I reached out, and he let me pet him. He was really slimy. I wasn't expecting him to be so slimy, but it was still incredible. How many people can say that they've got to pet a wild, rare animal like that? And he let me pet him for a good while. Ironically enough, when my aunt came out, he dipped back under. So, I was telling my aunt about it. I just touched a manatee, a wild one. And then the neighbor, like my aunt's neighbor, said, hey, that manatee's at my dock now, if you want to come feed him some lettuce. And I'm like, yes. So we got you feed the cute little manatee some lettuce. So I'm definitely going to get a manatee at some point. I'm probably going to get it here, like, in the top middle of my stomach. But why did I get a shark? Another reason I got a shark is I wanted to initially get a Jinx tattoo, too, from Arcane. But Harley ended up being so expensive that I ended up just opting to get a shark. To represent her bazooka. And I ended up choosing a goblin shark because, they're the ones that fascinate me the most, even though everybody that saw it was like, why would you get that? Oh my gosh. I mean, I think they're beautiful, though, so there's that. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, that's nightmare fuel, why would you get it, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I think he's cute. Oh, she. I ended up naming her Jinx, even though the bazooka's name is Fishbone. But, I got the Goblin Shark because they're unique, they're interesting, they're elusive. And on top of that, sharks also represent, being calculated, sneaky, silent, which is what my spell work is, versus, like, I don't know, me whipping out a gun and firing at somebody, but yeah, like this, I can't get in trouble for this. Because, like, nobody's gonna take it seriously. Who's gonna go, oh my gosh, this witch cast a spell on me? But yeah, like, nobody's gonna take that seriously in a court of law, but, anyways, what was I saying? Oh, so, without, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but I named my Goblin Shark, Jinx. So, what was next? Oh, so I actually got these two tattoos in the same day, because it was a tattoo convention. Oh, and my shark was also $300. This was actually the only one that was really hard to sit still for, too, by the way, because, the shark was in my tickle spot, and, yeah, that was also the first time numbing spray had to be used on me. She was $300. Got her done by Ernie at Warlocks. Ernie actually thought she was from a video game. So, I went to the, tattoo convention, and, I was really worried that I wasn't going to get anything, because I heard, like, all kinds of people were going, oh my gosh, I went to this tattoo convention, everybody was so busy, and I got nothing. So, yeah, me and my dad went to the tattoo convention, and I ended up getting this right here, first. So, I walked by this girl's stand, her name was Fani, and she had, like, a bunch of skeletal work, and I've been wanting a skull for some time. But initially I was going to get a scorpion on a skull, but I'm like, oh no, this is better. These are animal skulls, like they were deer skulls and stuff, and the one that stood out to me the most was this one, because it's a saber-toothed tiger. I mean, that is cool. And, it had a little peony, and I even asked the girl, I confirmed it was a peony, and I'm like, can I get this? And she's like, yeah, so she charged me $300 for it, and, tattooed it on, and this one's also another glitter effect here. So this is my first skull, and I ended up naming her Miracle for a couple of reasons. One, I considered it a miracle that I got a tattoo done, because I didn't know if I was gonna be able to get one. I didn't know if everybody was gonna be too busy, but we did get there early, so. Another reason is it's kind of mine and Adama's thing. He couldn't astro travel, like, with a strong enough frequency to appear to me physically. So he had to take on the form of, cartoon characters I recognized, or other people, which led me on some goose chases, but, and until my dragons finally led me to Lemuria, but, Miracle was the first one he appeared to me as, which had me binge watching Sit Down, Shut Up, and then gave me an obsession with, Kristen Chenoweth, because I was trying to figure out what the message I was getting was, because, like, basically the whole dream was basically what happened to Adama, but Adama appeared as Miracle from Sit Down, Shut Up, and, his lover, who we shall not name, appeared as Larry. So, and that dream just stuck with me. The emotions were powerful, and usually I don't develop an obsession unless things stick with me. So, yeah. I also thought it was super cool that a peony was next to this, because, I had just read the, the what's that story, that Japanese folklore story called The Peony Lamp, which is about a strong queen who ended up committing suicide because a boy screwed her over, but her ghost came back and killed him. So yeah. So then we were walking, like, I ended up walking around because I wanted to see everything else, and Dad was like rushing me to go the whole time. I'm like, because he walked around while I was getting tattooed and didn't get anything and then left, and I'm like, oh my gosh, next time I'm going to the convention by myself. But yeah, so I walked by this one guy's stand, and there was another tattoo on my wish list, so this was 100% my idea. But the guy was like, hey, are you looking to get something? And I'm like, oh, I already got something, and I've only got $300 left. And he's like, well, I'll take that $300 and give you whatever you want. So I'm like, all right, I want a balloon dog. Why do I want a balloon dog? Because nostalgia, like I used to be obsessed with them when I was a kid, and they would always pop or deflate. This one won't. Okay, come on. That is Lucky. I named that one Lucky because it was lucky that I got 2 tattoos from the tattoo convention. Fuck, my voice is starting to go. Alright, next, at least the cold's almost over. Let's see, which one was that, 12? 13, okay. So this one is I finally got my zodiac sign done, and I actually had it touched up, so there's a little bit of lotion on it, sorry. And this is also my 3rd glitter tattoo. But, I got this as a reminder of who I am, of who we are, me and Adama together. And, it's got that tarot card border because, I started getting into tarot cards too, and how to use them, and oracle cards. Right when my ex screwed me over. I mean, he'd been screwing me over for a long time, but when he really fucked up and set me free, and I finally saw the red flags for what they were and not through rose-colored glasses. So yeah, this is also covering up some self-harm scars like the big scorpion is. Ernie also did this one. Oh, I can't remember who did the balloon dog. I think his name was Samson. Or Sam or Tony or something. But anyways, Ernie did my Scorpio. And, I found it fitting to name her Kali. Now for those of you who are not familiar with Hindu folklore, traditions, whatever you want to call them, Kali is Shiva's one of Shiva's 3 wives. Kind of ironic since I ended up with 2 husbands. But that are, my spirit guides now. But she is known for going on a murderous rampage and actually almost killing Shiva. So, and being scary but badass, and, I thought, since this is a revolutionary tattoo, I might as well name her after a revolutionary woman, and the wildflowers are also Adama's nickname for me, Wildflower. I call him Sunflower, and we call our angel Safflower. Alright, I also did a little bit of a flex and said, I got this with the money I made from my DoorDash job because I'm not afraid of cars like my Mooch ex is. So there's that. So my next tattoo, bit of a doozy, this one. I almost got it from one really hole-in-the-wall tattoo place. Usually I go to Ernie unless I'm looking to get like a certain experience, but there was this tattoo shop that opened in the mall, and I'm like, I do believe it was called Inkology. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how cool would it be to get a tattoo in the mall? Because I love the mall. I love tattoos. It would be special. So I initially wanted to get the tattoo there. So I walk in, like, this place had some bad reviews, but it wasn't for, like, infections or anything. It was, so I thought I'd be safe. It was just mostly because their bedside manner was horrible. But, I was like, okay, just, so they don't have the best customer service skills. I'm gonna give them a chance anyway. So I saved up some money, and I walked in, and, you know, like, I ended up having to bring cash because they were cash only, which should have been my first red flag, because no, I've never seen a tattoo shop that was cash only. Like, not even, like, even the people at the convention took credit cards. This was ridiculous. So, I talked to Dad about it. Dad's like, oh, well, they're trying to evade taxes, so it's probably good you didn't support them anyway. And I'm like, great. So I go and I get, like, I go in, and I wanted to get an owl, because this is when me and Stolas started to bond, and I wanted to get an owl in dedication to him. So I was gonna originally get, like, a creepy looking owl head, just kind of like a shadowy owl head on my arm, like the upper part of my arm. So I showed it so I went in, and I was all excited when I came in, and immediately the wind was taken out of my sails by the front desk lady, because she was all like, shut the door behind you. I'm like, all rude, and I'm like, I'll turn around and the door didn't shut behind me, so I'm like, oh, okay. I'm thinking to myself, you know, you could have been nicer, but whatever. I'm not gonna let you ruin my mood. So I shut the door, and you know, I'm already just kind of disappointed by the overall vibe of the place, but because it doesn't look like a tattoo shop, you know, it looks like more like they're trying to be a spa. Like, instead of there being art on the walls, everything's all white and shiny and clinical and just, you know, not a tattoo vibe. But I wasn't about to let that deter me. I wanted my mall tattoo. So I'm like, okay, I was looking to get a walk-in. Is anybody available? She's like, okay, well, Kelsey will be available in a minute. Why don't you look through her portfolio? So I looked through there, and, you know, like, none of, like all of her art was ranging from, like, 1 to, like, 150 and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, I was confident. I've definitely got enough money. So this, because I just wanted a little owl head, you know, so I'm like, this shouldn't be too much. I go and talk to Kelsey, and she wants to charge me double for what I had on hand. You know, so I try to explain to her, hey, look, I've only got, like, this much on hand, you know. And, you know, instead of redesigning it or making it simpler so it could fit my budget, she just hands me her card and tells me to come back when I have more money. I ended up tearing up her card and throwing it in the trash, but, yeah, so that was a big disappointment. Left a bad taste in my mouth for that place. The good news is another mall tattoo shop did open up in my favorite mall. So I will be at some point visiting Tattoo Therapy to get, and doing, like, a personal review. I just gotta figure out which wish list tattoo, which tattoo I want to take off my wish list for that one. I'm thinking the tarantula. Because that place doesn't look very private, and I don't exactly want to have my shirt off in there, but, it does look more tattoo-like, so, that's good, at least. Like, hopefully they're not, you know, total assholes like Inkology was. So how did I get my owl tattoo, you may ask? Well, I saved up a little more money because we had a tattoo convention coming up. And this time I took Mom with me because Dad didn't want to go. He said the last one was boring, and I'm like, well, that's because you didn't get anything. I'm still trying to convince Mom to get something with me, but she doesn't know what she wants. She's a little bit picky about it, but I'm trying to spring for mother-daughter tattoos, like trying to convince her to get an orca on the foot. So I'll update you if that ever happens. I do want to get matching family tattoos too, which we were thinking Tree of Life on the back of her neck, but Yeah, that hasn't happened yet either. Anyways, we walked in, like, one thing on my tattoo wish list, though, was, I wanted to be tattooed by an ink master. So, lo and behold, who do I run into at the tattoo convention when I first walk in? Dave Rabinowitz from Ink Master. So, he gives me this, knockout owl. If I could just, hold on. On this dogwood branch. And he, like, he makes a mix of, like, Japanese with, American traditional. He also added this little jinx cloud in here, too. And a spider web on his eye, because intuition, baby. That's how spiders feel things with their vibrations, and that's how I feel things. So, this one took him several hours, and this one was like, this was a 5-hour tattoo, and he charged me only $400 for it. So, to Inkology, who was acting like they were too good to tattoo me, big mistake, huge. Anyways, Pretty Woman moment. This goes without saying, but I did name this one Stolas, for obvious reasons. And that night me and Madama did marry Stolas that night too. So, yes. My throat is so dry. Okay. Let's see. Okay, my next tattoo is this one. And, this was also done by Ernie. It's a raven with a plague doctor mask that says nevermore. Now, this one has some meaning behind it. This one, well, they all do, but, like, this one is, like, basically, if you don't know the Raven poem by Edgar Allan Poe, it's about this guy whose wife dies. And he ends up, this raven flies in and starts saying nevermore to him. With every question he asks. So, he ends up saying, my heart will feel joy for, like, nevermore. So, what was I saying? My heart will feel joy nevermore. So, this goes back to my ex. He basically ended up dying. And, basically, like, the person I knew died. And then, there's the fact that we literally sent him to hell. And, because, like, unlike Edgar Allan Poe, who feels grief and like he's gonna miss him, I feel free. Like, probably the first thing that came out of my mouth after he abandoned me was, I'm free. I'm finally free. I don't have to move in with this horrible family. I don't have to be suffocated by him anymore. I don't have to censor my stories and my art for him anymore. I don't have to hang out with his friends anymore who bully me. I don't have to avoid my family. I can hang out with them whenever I want. I don't have to, I'm free. So basically, Nevermore became an anthem to what will never happen again. I will be abused nevermore. I will be suppressed nevermore. I will be censored nevermore. I will allow this to happen nevermore. Because now I've got a Dama as my protector. And, Stolas and my dragons, and I will listen to them next time and not ignore them when they try to tell me, hey, this guy's bad news, you shouldn't get involved with him. So I ended up naming this, I ended up naming him, and also he's got like a Plague Doctor mask, which, a lot of people see the Plague Doctor as creepy. And, a sign of death, much like the Raven. But, the Raven's become like a symbol of comfort and transformation to me. And another thing is, what was I gonna say? I hate being sick. I just my head keeps blanking out. Oh, another thing we gotta remember is that they're doctors, they're healers. We wouldn't have, specifically if it wasn't for the Plague Doctors, we wouldn't have antibiotics, Because they were doing all these experimental treatments. And they risked their lives to find that cure. So, if it wasn't for them, we'd all still be dying over things that could have been easily cured. So, I ended up, the Raven cost me, like $150, and he ended up being, like, I ended up naming him Poe, because, I looked up what Edgar Allan Poe's name is, and, his name literally translates to, Sharp Spear, Little Rock, Peacock. And since Poe means peacock, I thought I'd go with Poe because, Adama has this thing with peacocks where he kind of dresses like one. So, yeah, that's fun. What's next? My last tattoo. So this is a bear. And, it's got Lily of the Valley in it. So, this one also cost me about $150. And, I've named her Lily, obviously. She represents New Lemuria, because we birthed New Lemuria with a bear. She represents Adama coming to rescue me because he came to me in a dream to rescue me as a bear. And because of the strong emotions that bear brought on, it had me pursue shadow work, which is how I met Adama. And also the lilies are meant to represent my fallen parakeets, because they were all named after Breaking Bad characters, and I wanted to put something symbolic to them at some point, like a good memorial tattoo, because I lost so many at once, and it was really devastating, and I didn't want to just get parakeets or any kind of bird, because it was like really hard on me. So I ended up tattooing I ended up going with the Lily of the Valley, because like I thought about, like, the whole show goes around crack, so I'm like, I'm not gonna tattoo crack on me for obvious reasons, but I did think about a tarantula, which I'm still going to get a tarantula because I think they're cool, and Mom won't let me get one because she doesn't want, and this is funny, she doesn't want reptiles in the house. My dragons take offense to that, but no, I had to explain to her a tarantula is not a reptile, it's an arachnid, and she's like, I don't care, it can get out of the cage, it bites, I don't want it. I'm like, okay. So I do want to get a tarantula at one point, but I don't know where I'm gonna get the tarantula. But I ended up going with Lily of the Valley because it looked nice in the bear, and I found this good reference photo. So yeah, those were my 16 tattoos. I will update you with any future tattoos I get. And this goes for the new mall store tattoo. I'm gonna let you know if they're dicks or not when I go in to get one. And when my tattoos are fully healed and I don't have to put lotion on them anymore, I'll get back to my readings, narrations, and whatnot. I'll also do like a charm of making thing too, because we do need to eventually I need to show y'all how to make talisman. So, until next time, fellow dreamers, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, click that notification bell too. I've got to go. My voice is going. I can't wait until my throat's back to normal and everything else is back to normal, but I'll see you next time. And comment down below, like comment which tattoo was your favorite tattoo. Comment which one was your least favorite. Maybe, ask any questions or anything, or just say something. Damn. Comment an emoji or something. I don't know. Just so I know you made it to the end. Just comment. So, until next time, fellow dreamers. Bye.